What is going on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, and welcome back to the Binkz and Doodle effect. Didn't have an episode last week because my co-host over here, Mr. DrewskiDoodles, was out there winning a Bar League Hockey Championship. So give a thumbs up right now if you're watching on YouTube for Andrew right now for winning the championship. Congratulations on winning the championship, my dude.
Thank you. It's a long road. You work hard. Number 3 seed of the year. And just non-stop W's. Non-stop. Big. Should have been a 2-0 win. Should have been a nice shutout for a goalie, but one flopped in with 10 seconds left. But it's a chip either way.
It doesn't matter. All that matters at the end of the day is that you won.
Hell yeah. Beers all around.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. But that is why we did not have an episode last week. So, Binkz and Doodle Effect, episode number 32, presented to you by Lividity. We are also sponsored by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is a premium energy and focus supplement designed to optimize your mental and physical performance. Unlike unhealthy canned energy drinks, the powerful supplement can be taken daily for overall improved performance. It's packed with vitamins, amino acids. It's a healthy way to increase your natural energy. If you use the code GETLIVID, which is on the bottom of the screen, you get 5% off your entire purchase. Get the starter pack, you get a shaker cup, and you get to try a bunch of different flavors. 5% off if you use the code GETLIVID. Let us know if you used it. Shout us out. Hit us up on DMs on Twitter. Going forward, Andrew, the draft. The draft is coming up.
It is
in the NFL.
It is coming.
That's going to be a very special podcast.
Exciting time.
Exactly. But we have some NFL news, and I know you're saddened by probably one of the biggest talked about things that came out in the NFL is Edelman retiring. How do you feel about that as a big Patriots fan?
Very upset. I love Julian. Who do you not love Julian Edleman? Even people who hate the Patriots love Julian Edleman. He's a grinder.
I love Edelman.
He goes out there. He does what he needs to do. He plays through copious amounts of injuries. And who can forget that catch he made off what's-his-face's leg while he's on the ground grabbing it in the Super Bowl? It was great.
Against the Falcons, is that what you talk about? The one where he kind of oh, beautiful catch. Absolutely beautiful catch. You can't get better than that.
He was one of the most reliable slot receivers in the game. And now he's got.
Yeah. I have a question for you now, Andrew. Because I've seen this being talked about on the internet so far since he's announced his retirement. I don't know if you saw what I'm going to say. Do you think Edelman is worth being in the Hall of Fame?
No, probably not.
Try not to be biased.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Well,
skill-wise, probably, but the numbers aren't there. It didn't work out. There's so many players that have much better numbers than him that aren't in the Hall of Fame, so you can't put him in there.
You just ruined my entire discussion with you because I thought you were gonna say yes.
If we're talking Patriots Hall of Fame, yeah, but facts are facts. He doesn't have the numbers to support it.
Yes, because there's a lot of people out there saying that he should be in the Hall of Fame, and I personally disagree that Edelman should be Hall of Fame worthy. I mean, you look at Hines Ward, for example. Hines Ward is not in the Hall of Fame, and I think Hines Ward is a better receiver times 5 against Edelman. I mean, even as someone as good as Jordy Nelson was at the time, Jordy has double the amount of touchdowns, way more yards per catch, higher catching percentage, and more actual receiving yards. And Jordy is never going to be probably discussed as a Hall of Fame ballot. So I think people discussing Edelman for the Hall of Fame is just kind of riding on his Super Bowls. And it brings us back to my Brady comparison, where I don't think accomplishment is worth greatness because the NFL is the only sport we value greatness off of championships, in my opinion. So I think Edelman's a great receiver. I just don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy. I think he was one of the best slot receivers to ever play the game, but not Hall of Fame caliber.
Yeah, had he been used differently, there's a definite possibility. But like, he wasn't that kind of guy who's going to put up those insane numbers. But he's the guy who's going to get you. He's going to be third down, 3rd and 5. He's going to make sure you get 6 yards and probably take a freaking ass beating in the process.
And you know who the ball was going to. Like there was not a question of a doubt if it's 3rd down who Brady was going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the defense knew it too, and there was nothing they can do to stop it.
Definitely one of the best slot receivers, and he ran a slant like no other. But great career. It's going to be the whole Patriots. The Patriots need to completely now. What do you do if you're the Patriots now?
Brother, I have no idea.
But you know what? They're still going to be better than the Jets, so you got that going. Well, yeah. You know you're not finishing last in the AFC East if you're the Patriots.
Yeah, this is true.
Unless Zach
Wilson draft a quarterback in the first round, we'll go from there.
And who knows? Zach Wilson may surprise me. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know.
Speaking of great quarterbacks, I just want to... I saw a stat for Rodgers is... and I didn't even realize like how much of a lead that he has, but he has the greatest touchdown to interception ratio of all time out of any quarterback who's ever played the game. And it's not even like it's close. Like it's just it's substantially like Brady's number 2, and like it's not even like close. And what surprises me is that Breeze is below, because Breeze is like is actually the most accurate passer to ever play the game. So yeah, just a cool stat that I saw online. Alex Smith is also retiring. Speaking of quarterbacks,
big sad, but
for him to just come back alone, unbelievable recovery. Just, if you know his journey, pretty much he almost died.
Yep,
almost died, and he was able to come back. So definitely like good for him. Probably the good move to retire. Doesn't want to probably take any more hits. I
agree there.
We have Connor going to the Cardinals. So the Steelers now probably going to be looking for a running back. I didn't hear anything about what they're going to be doing as a replacement. Maybe they'll be drafting one in the draft. I personally haven't heard anything. I don't know if you have.
Feature Benny Snell.
Snell is underrated.
He is.
He is very underrated. He kind of took the shadow to Connor, but he definitely is underrated.
Like I have said before, and a good offensive line makes a good running back. Not an elite running back, but will make a good running back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, because you know what, Dallas fans, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Zeke is so overrated. And Zeke is only as good as he is because of the Dallas line. But I personally think he's overrated. I mean, look at last year. Pollard was making Zeke look like a third string running back. Every run. It was a weird year, but still, I mean, Zeke really doesn't. I don't think he's even top 5 running back in the league. Honestly, I think he's just a product of the offensive line of Dallas. He's definitely top 10, but I don't think he's top 5 worthy.
I will agree with you. It's not top 5.
Not top 5. I would put him in the top 10, but he's definitely a product of his offensive line. Put it this way, if Zeke is a New York Jet, he's going to be horrible. He's not going to do a thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's just a product of that line. But yeah, no, Connor to the Cardinals. What does that mean for Drake, Andrew?
I have no idea. I mean, depends. I don't know. It depends what Drake we see, beginning of last year or the end of last year. Because he started to pick it up, but because the Saints, like, they're both frustrating as hell because you don't know what you're going to get out of either of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at Connor's 2020. It was not exponentially or really any better than Drake's. It was so mediocre. I think they're just going to ride the hot hand. Whoever does better the one game is going to be the feature back the next game.
But I agree with that. No argument there. I'm drawing a blank now on who would be their third string.
Chase Edmonds.
Thank you, Chase Edmonds, because he was a stud too. Like low key, like he under the radar. He's solid. I mean, you have a 3-back committee now for the Cardinals.
I smell a trade.
Yeah, I can see maybe Drake getting traded potentially, using maybe Drake as trade bait, keeping Edmonds as a running back committee with Connor. But I can see Drake maybe getting traded and potentially using him as trade bait.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
Definitely a possibility.
We'll see as as we go further towards the NFL season. We had golf happen 2 weeks ago. It's already 2 weeks. The Masters. Hideki Matsuma won the Masters. It said that he won about $2.1 million for the tournament. So congratulations to you. That $2.1 million sounds like a lot, but it's going to be even worth more. That win is probably going to give him billions worth in Japan after endorsements and everything that they're going to do in Japan with him. So good for you. You never have to hit a golf ball competitively ever again in your life.
You're set.
You're set. You're good. You're done. Just play for fun now, man. You don't need anything else.
You're moving on to playing with friends, drinking Twisted Teas.
Exactly. And not caring, if you bogey that hole. No, but congratulations to him winning the Masters. The guy I bet on didn't even finish in the top 5, so big sad for me. UFC, Andrew, are you ready for part 3 of McGregor and Poirier?
Let's just say when I saw that update, my wallet started sweating.
I'm
ready.
Who do you got winning? Let's go.
Poirier.
Who do you got? You're gonna go with him. You're gonna go with Poirier for in round 3.
Yep.
I think McGregor comes out firing, pissed off that he lost last time. Personally speaking,
that could definitely happen. This is an interesting fight.
It's going to be a great fight. I mean, I was excited about round 2, and I was disappointed that McGregor lost. But I personally think McGregor comes out firing.
He could. I mean, this is going to be his last fight ever for like a year and a half until he makes another one. So we'll see. It could go either way, but I think Poirier is the favorite, and my logic is I never bet on favorites, so maybe I'll try it and see if I win.
Now, why don't you ever bet on favorites?
I like making money out of less money.
That's respectable, I guess. You see, I'm like the complete opposite. Like when I do, and I get yelled at, not yelled at, but like people look at me all the time, and be like, why are you doing these types of bets? Like I'll do like a parlay and bet the money line on every single favorite, and like I'll usually like double or triple my money. But like it could be worth so much more if I wasn't just straight up betting the money line on the favorite. But listen, it's a strategy that has made me win more money than I've lost. So it's like a low risk, low reward.
It is.
So I mean, as long as I'm making money, I don't care whether it's $1 or $2. As long as I'm in the green, I take it. Personally speaking. But
it's like that night when the Rangers beat Philly like 9-0, and you bet that the second period was going to be the highest scoring period.
Exactly.
7 goals were scored.
Exactly.
I would bet, that all of my life savings.
The odds on that were like minus 1,400 at the time. So for me to make any sort of like any sort of like worthwhile like money, I had to put like 300 down on it just to win. And realistically, how is it a stupid bet? It is so stupid. It is the dumbest bet you can do, but like I figured, my mindset was that's a free $20 for doing nothing.
There's literally no way that the third period could have been higher scoring.
Exactly. There's no way. There's no way. That's why I had no issue putting the 300 down to win the $20. It was the dumbest bet. Like if you guys are watching this, please do not ever do that. It is so dumb. It is so dumb. But my mindset, that's a free $20 because no way eight goals get scored in the third period. Not a chance.
Free lunch, boys.
Exactly. Free $20 for doing absolutely nothing. Did I sweat that entire third period? Absolutely. But it was a free $20. Oh, man. With that being said, sports betting is legal in New York, where we live. So we can talk about that.
Uh-oh. And also yay, but also uh-oh.
Yes. Uh-oh for my wallet, my bank account. Andrew, NHL. What happened in the NHL?
Mr. Patrick Marleau has broken the record for most amount of career games played. With a whopping, and I mean whopping, 1,768 career games played after he played against the Golden Knights the other night.
Jeez.
He dethroned Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. It's nuts. I mean, to think you're playing he's gonna end up 1,800 hockey games. Like, Jesus Christ! I saw another stat that he has if you take every NHL player to ever play, he has played with or against 18% of them.
Damn.
Which is just ridiculous. He's going to keep going. There's only more to come.
Listen, good for him.
I don't think he's going to retire yet.
Good for him. Speaking of hockey, we have a live take right now that Andrew's probably not going to be happy, but the Islanders are up 6-1 on the Rangers as we record this. So, like, here's my thing. Hear me out, and like, I this is probably totally wrong, but like, here's my theory. Okay, the Islanders are tanking purposely against every team against the Rangers. If you're an Islander fan, you do not want the Rangers in the playoffs. If you're any team in that division, you do not want the Rangers in the playoffs because they are the hottest team in that division.
Mm-hmm.
A hot New York Ranger team in the playoffs would run the tables, and all we needed was the Islanders to just win like 1 or 2 games against Boston, and they just got bent. They just kneeled. Like, they did.
Nobody can beat Boston. I don't understand. Like, it doesn't even matter if the Rangers win because nobody can beat Boston.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I was saying, yo, at this point, we gotta aim for, like, catching up to the Islanders at this point. Like, they're gonna be the team that we have to catch up to because we're not gonna make up these 4 points on Boston. So, it's... I don't know. The postseason for the Rangers looks kind of dark, especially with a loss now to the Islanders, more than likely, unless for some reason we have a miraculous 5 goals out of nowhere.
Yeah. But it's okay, because our future's nasty.
Listen, I think next year or the year after, the Rangers are the team to beat in the league as the young kids continue to develop.
Absolutely, next year
next year we're a playoff team. Next year we're a playoff team. The year after that, you're potentially you're a favorite to win the cup. Personally speaking,
yeah.
In my opinion,
I completely agree with you.
And that's
agree with you.
That's not me being biased either. Like, that's just straight up. Like, the Rangers have the talent to win the cup.
They still got more coming up. So I mean, with the signing of Zach Jones, who just won that Frozen Four championship, and they still have Nils Lundqvist in the minors, who's putting up ridiculous points. That they're going to be disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally no way they're not disgusting.
Yeah, next year is definitely a playoff year for the Rangers, and if anything, in 2 years, maybe we're back in the Stanley Cup, or at least threatening in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Which is another thing people are overlooking is how insane the East Division is. Like, they're putting this up against the Islanders, Pittsburgh, Boston, Washington, and Philly. Like, that says something when young kids can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see, I assume the divisions are going to go back to normal and whatever. You're going to see those powerhouse teams start to fall off. You're going to see Tampa start to fall off because of cap space. You're going to see Pittsburgh and Washington are both getting older. So, I mean, the entire Eastern Conference, the future runs through the Rangers and Islanders. Like, they're the powerhouses for the next 5 to 10 years of the East. And that's going to be goddamn exciting.
I can get flamed in the comments if you guys are watching on YouTube, but I think the Islanders are so overrated. I don't think they're that great. The thing that's really annoying about the Islanders, with the exception of Matthew Barzal, they're a team of nobodies, but they play really well. Mm-hmm. I just think they're overrated. I personally think they're a one and done playoff team this year. I don't see the Islanders getting out of the first round, personally.
If it ended right now, I'm assuming they're doing normal seeding in the division. They would play Pittsburgh. I think they would waffle stomp Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is actually the most overrated team in hockey. But then after that, I think Washington or Boston would give them problems.
It's fair. I think Pittsburgh wins the series in like 6. Personally, I don't have any sort of faith in that Islander team in the playoffs at all. I personally think they are not even a playoff team. And I think they just had, one good hot streak to get to where they are, and now they've just kind of been coasting and staying put.
I mean, the thing is, they're just absolutely nasty at home. If they weren't in outer space at home, it might be a different story. They've only lost 4 times at home.
Yeah.
Makes of course, one of those was to friggin' Boston recently.
Of course.
I hate that stupid team.
The Rangers need to stay within 4 points of Boston. I mean,
which is not going to happen.
Granted, we want to obviously get more, but like we play Boston back-to-back games within the last, I think, 5 games. I think we play Boston, then we have 3 games after that.
Correct.
So if we could just stay within 4 points of Boston for that matchup, win both, and then just pretty much out of the last 3 games, whichever team is better, hit the playoffs. I mean, but Boston's playing now the Sabres 3 times in a row. The Rangers...
including tonight, there's 14 games left that Boston has, or something like that. 8 of them are against either the Sabres or the Devils.
Yeah, so that's 16 points right there. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I really thought for a hot second the Rangers were going to make a run because we are the hottest team.
Yeah.
100% as you drink that New York Rangers water. Did you do that on purpose or?
No, that was an accident. I didn't even know. But takeaway is the last half of the season we are nasty, and that's what the future is going to look like.
Exactly. Till next year, guys, for the New York Rangers, we'll be a playoff team. And then, like I said, I would like to get rid of Quinn. I don't know how you feel about him, but I would like to get rid of Quinn.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't like him as a head coach. So
I agree.
I don't think he is fit for that position. But
I agree with you.
I think we get a better coach and we'll be a lot better. But moving on to baseball, as we rambled on hockey, lot of stuff happened in the past 2 weeks. A lot of stuff.
Big 2 weeks of baseball.
Let's start off with probably the biggest news that we have, our first no-hitter of the year.
Mr. Joe Musgrove.
Good for him. Perfect game watch until... Was it one? He had 1 out in the ninth?
That was Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because it was Musgrove also threw another before that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Rodon...
Yes.
1 out in the ninth, and hits the batter on his back foot with a front door slider.
Mm-hmm. You hate to see that.
Oof. Oh my god, yeah. I turned the game on with like 2 outs in the 8th because it came up with the notification, and I'm like, all right, this could happen. Like never heard of this guy before, but this could happen.
Exactly.
Gets the first out, and I have to say, Jose Abreu made a ridiculous play at first base to get the first out in the 9th.
Oh, 100%.
He destroyed his leg.
100. The effort to get that out at first, unbelievable.
Yeah,
and
insane.
All I was thinking in that moment, like I was watching that play happen, like I knew he was gonna have to dive, and in my mind, in that split second, all I kept thinking was, if you're the umpire at first base, no matter what, it is an out. You call him out. We have replay. You call him out. And if they want to challenge it, go to replay. But there should be no sign other than out at first base in that scenario. Because, like, all I kept thinking was that, what's his face, blown call at first base, you know?
All those years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember the pitcher's name off the top of my head.
I don't remember him either.
But that's all I kept thinking about was, like, you can't ruin this kid's perfect game by calling him safe at a bang play at first. No matter what, it's an out. Go to replay to get it overturned, but it's an out. And he legitimately was out, which was an absolutely amazing play.
I didn't expect Abreu to dive like that. I expected, hands first, touch the glove to the base, not let me destroy my knee. But that was sick. And that, when you see a big play like that happen, like that's a sign, like something special is going to happen. And whoever he hit, I don't remember who he hit, but he couldn't move his damn back foot and gets plunked by a slider, like on the toe. That hurts. Mm-hmm. That hurts so bad.
Even the announcers were like, "If you're the batter, you get out of the way. Like you don't do that.
You don't enter like that.
You don't have the guy's perfect game get ruined because you didn't move out of the way of a pitch."
Yeah, by all means, try and smack the ball out of the park. Don't get hit.
Yeah, just don't be like that. But he got the no-hitter, though. So
Yeah.
we have 2 no-hitters now for the 2021 season. And baseball has just started.
Yeah. It's been a nutty beginning to the year. It's been
Absolutely.
apparently people have already watched. I just saw MLB post like 1.5 billion minutes of gameplay or something.
It is. I saw that
It's
stat
exactly
too.
what they needed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm still very much adamantly against extra inning rules. Can we just
garbage.
so garbage. And it blows my mind how teams still do not just try to bunt that runner over from you have a man on second, no out. I don't care unless you're like Lindor or like Alonso or like Judge or Stan. There is no reason why that leadoff batter doesn't bunt down the first base line and has a runner on third with 1 out.
Yeah, no, I don't care who's up. If I'm the coach, I'm telling you to bunt.
It's unbelievable. These analytics can go shove it. Just get the runner over. Get the runner over. That's all you have to do. I think it's dumb. I personally think it's dumb that there's a runner on second to begin with, and I think it's dumb playing 7 innings for a doubleheader. Even though it did benefit the Mets, but still, I don't agree.
That's what Jacob deGrom needs. No bullpen involved.
Jacob deGrom needs doubleheaders where he could pitch 7 innings, go a complete game, because that man. I saw a stat for Jacob deGrom. I think the Mets are 36-42 when deGrom starts.
Yeah,
think of that for a second.
Like
36-42. They are under 500 when the greatest pitcher in baseball pitches. That is just mind blowing as it is. I have a stat for deGrom for you, Andrew. I don't know if you saw it or not. Before his first win, okay, deGrom had pitched 14 innings, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 21 strikeouts. The Mets were heavy favorites both games and lost. And now for 2021, after his win, he has 20 innings pitched, 11 hits in those 20 innings, still 1 earned, 3 walks, 35 strikeouts, a .45 ERA, and he's batting .571. He's 4 for 7 on the year. Cy Young.
Gary Keith and Ron say this every Met game. When he's pitching, he's the best athlete on the field, and you never say that about pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
He can literally do everything. He's loose, pitch 2, throwing 100, 101. Him and James McCann are such a sick team. Like his methodical approach to it, just lighting the lineup up with fastballs on the first rotation, switching it up on the second, or vice versa. Like he's just so good. It's no comparison between him and any other pitcher in the league. As much as I love Shane Bieber, who was my prediction to win the AL Cy Young and is looking very nice in that right now. And you can see that his unfortunate situation with the Mets is getting more notoriety because in a bunch of baseball meme pages that I follow, this is all starting to come up now. Which one I like because it's showing people that they know how good Jacob deGrom is. But 2, I don't want him to see that and exercise his opt-out clause.
I don't think he will. He likes
either.
playing in New York. He's said that many times. Mm-hmm. I'm happy he finally got his first win. Man should be 2-0. 3-0.
3-0.
He should be 3-0. He struck out 9 batters in a row. He's the 8th person in all of MLB history to do so. He joined 7 other people striking 9 in a row. I was watching that game, eyes glued to the TV, just praying he hit 10 to tie Seaver for 10 in a row. But he went back-to-back games pitching 14 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and
insane.
It is so sad that the Mets just can't produce any sort of offense when that man's on the mound. And then you have Stroman, who's been doing absolutely lights out. He looks like a second coming of Jacob deGrom. So thank God we have another pitcher that's going to be on top of their shit like that if Stroman can keep this up all year. And then we get Syndergaard back, and then we get Carrasco back.
No.
Our rotation, there's no reason why the Mets should win 100 games.
Yeah,
or will they? Probably not, but they should win like 100 games with that rotation.
Are they even going to play 100 games?
Yeah, I mean, every other game, I feel like the Mets get like rained out or snowed out if you're in Colorado.
Literally.
It kind of lost what I was gonna say with the rotations, kind of
being super nasty, having Syndergaard come back and Carrasco come back.
Yeah, I was going somewhere with that, and it just totally slipped my mind. I apologize.
Anyway, whatever is even more impressive that DeGrom did this in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
The ballpark that just produces nonstop offense, nonstop home runs, and he said, "Okay, if it's so easy to hit home runs, I just won't let them touch the ball."
Exactly, and that's what he does every.
He struck out 14. Diaz struck out the side in the 9th, or whatever inning it was.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and that means 17 Ks. There were that's ridiculous.
10 outs. It means only 10 outs in the entire game.
Yeah.
Wild. Diaz still hasn't won me over. That's what I was gonna be going. I am still a wreck when that man is on the mound. Cause I watch it, and I'm watching him blow that fastball by people, and still part of me is like, man, one of these guys are gonna get around on one of these fastballs and just put it out of the park. Like, that's what I was waiting for. That is personally what I'm waiting for. Our ballpin just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
You're alone on that one, buddy. I'm cool with Diaz. It's everybody else that I'm not cool with.
Trevor May, we were so excited for a previous podcast, and Trevor May has been a shit show.
Not great, yeah. He'll turn it around.
Yeah. Staying on baseball, kind of going back to that perfect game, no-hitter type of thing. Victor Caratini, yeah. First catcher in MLB history to catch consecutive no-hitters for different teams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is a crazy stat.
Sign of a good
wild. Catcher. Yes, that is wild.
Man can call a game.
Yeah. How do you feel? We're kind of all over the place with the MLB in this episode, but how do you feel about last week Conforto clearly leaning into that pitch against Miami?
I mean, I'm not mad at him for doing it. It's trying to win the game, but that should have never happened. The fact that it's not reviewable, you have the replay, review it.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Oh, that's so dumb. He didn't. That was a strike. You can't get hit by a pitch as a strike. I'm sorry. You can't do that.
What an awful job by the umpire, too, because he's starting to call a strike, and he says, "Oh, you got hit by the pitch." But it doesn't matter, because if it's a strike, it's a strike.
Mm-hmm.
The HBP does not matter. So, how often does that situation come about? So it's okay, I get it. I'm a referee. There are certain things that never happened in his rules that you will forget. It happens. But there's a major flaw in the replay system that you can't review something like that, especially when it's a game-ending play.
I think next year, hit by pitch gets reviewed.
I think everything should be able to get reviewed.
100%, but
why not?
You have the replay feature and use it, but I think going forward, they'll probably implement that next year, saying, "Hey, what Conforto did in the beginning of the season, we can't have anymore." That was it was bullshit. And you know what? I'm happy we got the win, because there are many times where the Mets have gotten screwed over a terrible call.
Yeah.
So it just kind of comes back, hey, the luck was in our favor this time.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be so pissed if that happened against us at the same time.
I would be throwing things. I have done that when it happens to the Rangers, and so I will be throwing things.
Oh, believe me, I've just asked my dad. I'm not a pleasant Ranger fan to be around when the Rangers are doing bad. But yeah, no, Conforto's lucky that he got hit by the pitch, because that man has the zero clutch genes in him. Not
Oh
even,
yeah,
not,
I think he knew that, and that's why he kind of leaned in.
exactly. It's funny that you say that because like I was thinking the same thing. He was probably like, man, I need to get hit by a pitch because like I can't bring these runners in. Bases loaded, two outs. The man has absolutely zero clutch genes in him. The only time Conforto does something good is if the Mets are up big or the Mets are down big. The only time you'll ever see Conforto do anything.
I understand. I played baseball. If I'm in that situation and I'm going to get hit by the pitch, am I going to get out of the way? Absolutely not. But am I going to go shove my elbow in front of it? Like, come on.
No. There's a difference between taking one for the team and completely leaning in like he did. Still not as bad as Yankee fans, though, throwing balls on the field.
They're show some class. Come on.
The greatest team to ever play the game. Throwing fucking balls.
Worst record in the AL, and your fans can't handle it.
They on the real, they fucking suck.
They're
terrible.
They cannot play defense.
They're terrible.
Their pitchers are garbage besides Garrett Cole. They can't do anything.
They were the favorites to win the World Series in 2021. I mean, it's still very young in the season, but my God, they suck. The Yankees are horrible. They can't do anything. They can't produce any sort of offense. Their pitching is terrible, other than Cole. And as Met fans, and as big of a Met fan as I am, we love to see that. It brings me great joy seeing them in the bottom of the AL East.
Yeah, like I genuinely, for the most part, could care less. But like just seeing this, it's great. It is a little great. There's a little happiness in me that makes me smile.
I'm very, very giddy. If the Yankees don't even make the playoffs, if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, it makes the Mets not making the playoffs if they don't like that much better. Like I'm satisfied. I growing up, I always used to say that like I'm a Mets fan, but I'm also any team the Yankees play, I'm that fan too. So,
yeah,
that's where I stand, and that's really the only sport. Hockey, the Islanders are very close second, but other than that, it's really the only sport because I don't really care what the Giants do, as a Jet fan. To be honest with you, I give zero shits what the Giants. If the Giants go to the Super Bowl, good for them. I have zero care or interest if they go to the bowl or not. So,
who would have thought, man? The Yankees are like bottom of the barrel in runs scored. If you don't count the Mets, who haven't played half their games, There's a couple teams that have 51. They're at 55. Like it's insane to think that offense can't produce.
And I was gonna say, look at that offense: LeMahieu, Judge, Stanton, Hicks,
Glaber,
but listen, he's got a decent bat. Glaber cannot.
No,
play
part of the problem.
shortstop.
He can't field.
He cannot field.
He can't field.
Their best defense players is Judge. Not even.
Oh yeah.
No other than that, but it's amazing that team just can't do anything.
Yeah.
But
they'll turn it around, but the other teams in their division look halfway decent and or good, so that'll be a fun division to watch now.
Look at Boston. Boston started off 0-3, and just went on a complete huge. What did they hit, like 9 or 10? I think in a row or something like that. I know
they're
at
11-6 now. So
yeah, I know they were at 9-3 at one point. So I know they were on a 9-game winning streak. I don't know if they hit the 10. But good for them. I don't think they'll keep that up. I personally still think the Yankees are going to win that division. There's no way that team is bad or this bad for 162 games. Right?
There's
no way.
Stay this way now.
They have to win the division. There's no way they don't win the division. But
yeah, I agree. But even honestly, this might be more shocking that the Mariners are in first place.
Right?
In the AL West.
Right?
They're garbage. Like, and yet they're in first place.
It's a wacky early on season.
Indeed, it is.
But on that note, I think we can begin to wrap it up. Leave a like if you're watching it on YouTube. Comment down below if you enjoyed. Comment down below any topic you would like to hear or discuss next week. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. We upload every Wednesday at 3 p.m. If you're listening to wherever you listen to podcasts, give us a 5-star review. If we see it, we'll give you a good old shout out. Remember, you can always DM us on Twitter, whether it's at the BDE Effect or one of our personal Twitters if you have questions for the following week's podcast. But other than that, Andrew, do you have any parting words for our wonderful, wonderful viewers each week?
Yeah, something you won't care about. The MLS started. Let's go Red Bulls.
You're right. It's something I did not care about. But I'm happy that you're excited, brother. Your happiness is my happiness. So
what a guy.
So yes. On that note, let's go Red Bulls, baby. Let's go. But thank you guys for watching, and until next week, guys. Peace out.